Hallo Leute, willkommen zu einer weiteren Folge von Genshin Impact. Letztes Mal haben wir den 5. Akt abgeschlossen von der Fontaine Quest und diesmal sind wir versammelt, um eben die Furina Quest zu machen. Ich sehr gespannt bin, wo, was, wie und alles ist, weil ich habe keine Ahnung, wo Furina sich befindet. Und ja, ich würde mal sagen, wir beginnen hier, Story Quest, und dann nehmen sie mal an. Und ich muss mal auch vielleicht die Sprache wieder ändern, weil das habe ich wieder komplett vergessen. Professionell vorbereitet. Wo ist Deutsch? Da ist Deutsch. Okay. Also, die Quest ist, glaube ich, fast 2 Stunden lang. Und ja, ich bin mal sehr gespannt, was hier passieren wird. Also, geht zum Abenteuergilde von Hof... Sprache lernen. Babbel. Falls ihr euch fragt, warum ich ein bisschen leiser spreche, ist noch mein Vater liegt auch ein bisschen im Bett, deswegen muss ich ein bisschen leiser sein. So.
Specifically one with a huge more attack, perhaps?
Dem ist auch kein Blatt vor dem Mund.
Paimon's just being enthusiastic. We're old friends now, she gets it.
Ja, okay.
It's always a pleasure to see our two most avid adventurers again. Looking for the next challenge, I see. Actually,
Ja.
we do in fact have a rather urgent commission that is still open. Having read the details, however, I don't believe you'd consider it to be lucrative.
Okay. Ich nehme an irgendwas mit Furina dann.
Don't worry about that. We were just kidding. So what's the situation?
Ja, worum
To
geht's?
put it simply, the requester is looking for a temporary replacement actress for their musical. The original cast member ran into some issues and
Okay.
is currently unable to perform the role.
Okay. Und ich nehme mal an, wahrscheinlich irgendwie bekommen wir es hin, dass diese Darstellerin durch Furina ersetzt wird. Ist mal meine Theorie.
But the troupe has also been experiencing some financial difficulties, so unfortunately they cannot afford to pay the replacement actress.
Okay.
That does sound like a tricky situation. So basically they're looking for a volunteer?
Scheint so.
That's right. Our adventurers reached out to many actresses, but none of them were willing to take the job.
Okay.
There are only a few days left until the performance. If they can't find someone in time, they'll probably have to postpone the show. And delays tend to create all sorts of new problems.
Okay, tut mir leid, musst du wohl gerade unterbrechen.
Got it.
So.
Oh, this one's a doozy. What do you think, Traveler? Any ideas?
Keine Ahnung.
Even if we took the commission, neither of us have any experience starring in musicals.
In der Tat.
If you're interested in helping, why not start by having a chat with the requester? He's right over there.
Okay.
Maybe you can't fill the role yourselves, but you might be able to help him figure out another solution. Maybe there's something he hasn't thought of.
Oh, entschuldigt.
Oh, it's that guy, huh? No wonder, he looks like he just ate a sour lemon.
Ja, okay. Ich verstehe.
Paimon approves, let's go! Hello there, are you the guy looking for a new actress?
Ich glaube nur.
Wait, I know you two. Are you really willing to act in my musical?
Wow, sounds like we're pretty famous in Fontaine already. But to answer your question, neither of us have any experience in musicals. But we heard that you're in a bit of a bind, so we figured we could at least try to help you think of a solution.
Ah, I see. It's okay. I knew that asking for a volunteer was a long shot. If we can't find someone to step in, we'll have no choice but to cancel the show. It would be such a shame.
Na, das wäre wirklich schade. Kannst du das Passage für den neuen Schauspieler nicht mit den Eintrittsgeldern decken?
That's the thing. We're not some high-profile theater troupe, just a group of amateur enthusiasts.
Ja, okay.
All our sets and props are very crude. We're grateful enough just to get an audience, never mind ticket fees. If we had a way to make this profitable, things might have turned out differently. But now, it looks inevitable that we'll disband.
Okay.
Disband? You're splitting up the troupe?
Oh, I guess the lady at the Adventurers Guild didn't tell you? Yeah. This is supposed to be our final show together as a troupe.
Okay.
One last show. And after that, we go our separate ways. So we were really hoping to end on a high note. Nobody wants things to just fizzle out. Not after all the time and effort we've invested into it.
Ja, kann man verstehen. Kevin hat erwähnt, dass einer deiner Darsteller nicht kommen kann.
Yeah, the leading lady, in fact. She's been dealing with a chronic illness ever since childhood, and unfortunately, it flared up again recently. It really drains all her energy, so she's in no state to perform.
Das ist natürlich sehr blöd.
The show just won't be the same without her. But for everyone else's sake, I still hope we can find a way to hold the performance on schedule.
Okay.
Got it. We have a clearer picture now. Let's see if we can come up with any ideas.
Okay.
What if we sponsored the show? Traveler, how much more are you carrying?
Also ich habe ein bisschen Talente gelevelt, nicht viel.
Please, there's no need to go that far. I wouldn't feel right asking such a huge favor. And I can't promise that we'd ever be able to pay you back.
Mora ist nicht, sind nicht das größte Problem.
Good point. If the actress just goes through the motions for the Mora, that's not exactly rescuing the show. We should find someone who will put on the best performance possible. Oh, wait! What about... you know who?
Zwei dumme, ein Gedanke.
That's how you know we're the best of partners. Anyway, she should have all the free time in the world right now. She's really good at performing, and she was once super popular with the crowd. Performing in a musical should be a piece of cake for her.
Yep.
Who are you thinking of? Sounds like someone famous.
Furina.
Her? You're... That was a joke, right?
Nope.
Nope. Paimon doesn't actually know if she's performed on stage before, but Paimon's pretty confident that she'd be really good at it.
Yep.
You're not wrong there. She has actually performed in a number of big-name shows before. They were one of the reasons she was so popular. But even if she's no longer the Hydro Archon, it's not like she's suddenly a commoner.
Doch.
She's still an idol to many people in Fontaine, including myself. I just think Lady Furina might feel a bit out of place in an amateur troupe like ours.
Bist du bereit, alles zu geben?
Well, yes, but... Fair enough. I mean, if she was actually willing to, then of course I'd be honored to have Lady Furina star in our show. I'm sure the rest of the troupe would be delighted too.
Okay.
I'm sure everyone in our troupe has probably dreamt of performing on stage with her one day. Of course, it all depends on whether she's interested. She might consider this opportunity beneath her.
No point in stressing about that. We'll only know if we ask her. And besides, things are different now. There's no reason for her to be all high and mighty anymore.
Ja, los geht's. Wir haben sie auch schon lange nicht mehr gesehen.
Thank you for your help. I guess I'll just stay here and wait for the good news. Good luck.
Danke.
Wait, where does Furina actually live nowadays? She used to live in luxury at the Palais Mermonia, but she's, moved out, right?
As it happens, I have her current address here. I can provide it to you.
Oh, okay.
Woo! When did you get here?
I came over when things were starting to sound more promising. I thought I should be at the ready in case my assistance is needed.
Okay.
It is my duty to support commissioners in any way I can.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Well, now that we've got the address, we'll go find Furina. Back in a jiffy.
Yep. Die kleine Okenide. Erster Akt. Animal Creation etwas. Und fragt Marina nach einer Meinung. Yay! So, da sind wir wieder. Und ich frage euch, was machst du bitte auf YouTube, wo das jetzt eine Genshin-Folge ist? Also, Folgendes ist passiert. Das ist schon ein super Einstieg. Ich habe das gespielt und alles so und alles gut. Dann habe ich rübergeschaut eben auf mein Programm, um halt die Aufnahme zu beenden. Und es könnte eventuell sein, dass ich eventuell geglaubt hätte, ich hätte aufgenommen und ich habe vielleicht nicht aufgenommen. Das heißt, ich habe eigentlich 20 Minuten oder so mit keinem gesprochen. Beziehungsweise nur mit meiner Kamera, ohne dass es aufgenommen wurde. Ja, deswegen habe ich mir jemanden hier genommen, der schon das ganz durchgespielt hat und halt ohne Commentary und alles so. Das heißt, wir können uns das dann anschauen und so machen, als wäre das einfach meine Aufnahme. Natürlich verlinke ich die Person, das ist Ruben 925, Ruben 925 und ist natürlich dann in der Videobeschreibung verlinkt, einerseits der Kanal sowie das Video. Und ich schaue das jetzt an. und schauen uns das an, was wir eigentlich zusammen sollten anschauen in meinem Account. Aber ich bin blöd. So, also. Wir sind eben halt jetzt bei Furina.
Did Catherine really
Und
give us the
die
right
Untertitel
address?
sind dann auf
She
Englisch, weil ja.
lives here?
So.
Not that there's anything wrong with this place. It's just a bit of a step down from the Palais Marmonia.
Ja, aber ich glaube, sie will auch keine Aufmerksamkeit auf sich ziehen, also
It's
ja.
common courtesy to make sure the homeowner
Hallo,
isn't in
Furina.
earshot when you're denigrating their abode.
Yep.
Okay, when did Poppy Gun and Thin Air become all the rage? First Catherine and now you?
Es war,
I was
Catherine
just
ist
out on
auch
a
ganz
shopping
oft
trip.
aufgetaucht.
I
Also nicht
ran
oft,
out of
aber auch
macaroni,
vorhin.
so I went to grab a few more bags.
Ich kann dir mal
I used to
Navis
have a
empfehlen.
much wider range of choices
sind
when it
gut.
came to food. But now I'm finding that simple, traditional home cooking can be quite delicious too.
Warum nicht?
Not at all. As long as you have different kinds of sauces in, you can have macaroni and tomato sauce one week, macaroni and bolognese the next.
Ja, kleine
sounds like
Abwechslung.
you're
Ja.
really struggling to cope.
How rude! Questioning my cooking skills. The audacity!
Sie kann
It's
mehr
not
wie
like
Ei.
I
Die kann
have
nämlich
a very
nichts.
eventful life these days. Actually, I barely leave the house. So I don't see how it's unusual that my meals are a little simpler now too.
Ja, ist ja dein eigenes
Besides,
Recht.
I'm sure I could master dishes like la lettre faucilor or blubber profiteroles in no time, if I felt so inclined.
Könnt ihr mir sogar Weg vorstellen.
There it is. You don't know how to cook.
Weimar kannst du mir hoffen, so böse zu sein.
Not yet, maybe, but... Anyway, what are you even doing here? I do hope you didn't come here just to ogle at my fall from grace. Let me first be clear that I'm not taking guests at this time. So if you're just here to clown around, then please be on your way. Shoot!
Sorry.
Okay.
We're sorry. Please don't be mad. Yeah, exactly. What the traveler
Ja, nur
said.
Sorgen um dein
I know it's
Wohlergehen.
to make fun of you.
Schön, das müssen wir auch noch
You
übersetzen.
weren't
Oh Gott.
exactly holding back either.
Ne, wir sind eigentlich hier gekommen, dich um deine Hilfe zu fragen.
Well, maybe you're forgetting that I'm no longer the mighty Hydro Archon. I don't even have a vision, you know.
Noch nicht, aber ich könnte
Don't
mir vorstellen,
worry,
dass du sie
it's nothing
bekommst.
that serious. It's just very specific, and you're the one with the power to help.
Du bist die einzige Person
Oh.
für den Job.
Well, if that's the case, then fine. I'll spare you the lecture about your attitude just now.
Okay, danke. Und wann ist er ja
So tell
gegen
me.
Palmen gerichtet?
What specifically makes this matter so specific?
Nein, wir brauchen eine Darstellerin. Deswegen, du erklärst Furina die Pläne der Truppe für
I
die
see. I
Aufstellung.
knew you couldn't have come all
Aufstellung,
this way just to
Performance, ja.
amuse yourselves at my expense.
Na,
After all, I was once the brightest star in all of Fontaine, well versed in all the various performing arts. A mere musical is well within my capabilities.
das definitiv. Es fällt bei weitem in deinen
Given
Things.
the present circumstances, I'm afraid I must regretfully decline your casting request.
Okay, dein Recht.
Come, it sounds like this would be a breeze for you.
Ist es auch wahrscheinlich, aber
True, but I have made
Yeah, okay.
a decision to retire from the stage. Although I am no longer required to play the role of the Hydro Archon, the time I spent inhabiting that character
ja,
has left an indelible mark on
die
me.
Selbstfindung dazu haben ist
Centuries
anstrengend.
of pretending to be a different person changes you completely. I'm not the same person I once was. Of course, that can't be undone now. It's too late, and I have no intention of reinventing myself all over again.
Ja, okay, kann man
But
verstehen
at
noch.
least
Nach
I can
500
say
Jahren.
that I no longer desire to play any new roles.
Ist auch kein Problem.
Paimon can understand.
Keine aber.
This is just a one-off part to fill in for someone who's sick. Surely that's okay.
Na, aber sind wir auch nicht
Whether
mehr.
it's a one-off or not, it's a boundary that I've committed to no longer cross.
Und du
If
willst
I
nicht
make
drüber
an
gehen. Für
exception to the
einmal.
rule now, I'm just leaving a back door for myself, which would be the same as not having a boundary in the first place.
Ja, okay. Kann man
So
verstehen.
I'm not going to perform, and that is that.
Kein Problem.
Okay, guess there's no convincing you. Well, is there anything else we can do to help out the troupe? Otherwise, they'll just have to disband without any fanfare.
Naja, es gibt andere
Do you know any
Darstellungen.
other actors who might be interested in the role?
Nope.
Schade.
Short and to the point. Okay.
I've never been great at maintaining relationships.
Okay.
Besides, anyone I've ever worked with
Entschuldigt.
probably
Ui.
couldn't wait to get rid of me.
Ey, das ist
Since
nicht wahr.
I'm just an ordinary person now, they'll probably just laugh in my face if I go asking them for help.
Das ist nicht das
True,
schlimmste Wort für
but-
Menschen.
I mean, could you even blame them? I show up out of the blue, begging and groveling for their help with a show they won't even get paid for?
Ja, okay.
Oh, no way. I'm dying from embarrassment just thinking about it.
Abhängig von der
not
Einstellung
happening.
wahrscheinlich noch weniger eben.
Well, is there anything else we can do? This performance really means a lot to the guy we're working for.
Wir können als Darsteller arbeiten.
Have I not made myself clear?
Oder wir gehen
You're
Kaya
barking up the
besuchen.
wrong
Den können wir ganz
tree.
gut benutzen.
I don't want this job, nor do I know of anyone else who would. Sorry. I didn't mean for that to sound so harsh. I wish I could help, really. But if I thought I had the answer to this problem, I would have said so by now.
Kein Problem.
It's all right, Furina. Paimon just wanted to make sure we tried everything. Oh, everyone in the troupe will be so disappointed.
Na, dann müssen wir uns einen Plan B einfallen
Yeah, I
lassen.
guess that's all we can do now. All right then, we'll see you around, Furina.
Bye bye.
Toodaloo to you too. I'm going home to take a rest now.
Dann mach mal ruhig. Und wir gehen definitiv mit dem richtigen Account zu Catherine. Ich hab so verkackt. Ich nehme an, Person zeigt jetzt an, wie wir noch da hinkommen. Ja, okay. Ich habe mich auf dem Teleporter
Too bad,
hinbewegt,
but
aber
we
ja.
have to respect Furina's decision.
Das ist wahr.
Maybe the thought of performing brings up too many painful memories now.
Verständlich nach dieser 500 Jahren Geschichte. Ich probiere auch so gut wie möglich das auch zu rekreieren, was ich gesagt habe in der Aufnahme. Bisher geht's gut.
What's going on? Are they arguing?
Scheint so. Frage ist über was?
That's besides the point. I'll ask you again. Why did you start looking for a replacement without my consent? When did I tell you I'm going to take a step
Oh.
back?
You didn't need to say
Hauptdarstellerin
it.
gefunden.
We've known each other for how long now? We know the signs. But you never tell us about your illness, even when it's clearly flaring up.
And that gives you the right to
Ja,
make a
ist nicht deine
decision on my behalf?
Entscheidung.
Shortly after you left, the troupe's lead actress came to the Adventurers Guild. She believes that she's healthy enough to perform.
Okay, ist ja auch ihre
Excuse
Entscheidung.
me, but can you both take a moment to discuss something else for now? The adventurer assigned to your commission has returned.
Sorry, I was just dealing with a little misunderstanding. So, how did your conversation with Furina go?
Nicht so wie
Sadly, it's a no
erhofft,
from her.
aber ja.
We tried to persuade her, but she wasn't having it. She doesn't want to play the role for personal reasons.
Ist ja auch komplett verständlich
I
mit
see.
ihrer Situation.
Well, circumstances have changed a little, so maybe that's not such bad news after all.
Ja, wir haben jetzt unsere
You see,
Hauptdarstellerin.
our leading lady has just informed me that she's well enough to make it to the show after all. Staging the musical with the full original cast was always the dream, of course.
Yep.
Oh, right. Sounds like everything worked itself out then.
Stell dir vor, wir hätten Furina überzeugt, nur damit sie herausfindet, dass sie
Yeah,
nicht mehr
she'd be
gebraucht ist.
livid. We'd get the scolding of a lifetime.
Jeez, is Lady Furina really so harsh with people?
Nein, ich glaube, sie
I'm
muss sich einfach
joking.
an
Calm down.
das Umgehen mit
So,
Menschen noch
guess we
gewöhnen.
can consider this case closed now, huh?
Ja, ich würde sagen,
Despite
oder?
the fact that we failed to complete the commission, we were still racking our brains for ideas on the way back here.
Punkt, Punkt, Punkt.
Look, there's no point arguing with you about this anymore. You've made yourself very clear, so I'll stop
Enjoy the
looking
tweet.
for a replacement. This is the last chance we have, though. If your illness flares up again, there won't be time to find anyone to replace you.
Wir kriegen das schon hin.
So, are you absolutely sure you'll be able to handle it? The whole team is putting everything they have into this final performance.
Na,
We
entweder
have
es
to make sure it
funktioniert
goes ahead.
oder kurz
Yes,
oder
I'm completely
am Tag
confident.
des
I've been taking
Auftritts.
a new medication from the
geht's nach
doctor,
hinten los.
and it's working brilliantly. I'll definitely be able to tough it out until the performance day.
Ja, wenn es so ist.
I share everyone's desire to commemorate all our years as a troupe with a proper farewell show. So the last thing I want is to be left out.
Ja, okay.
Every one of us thinks of this troupe as their home, myself included.
You're right. I'm sorry. I let myself get too worried about the show. I should have asked for your permission first.
Okay, dann
All's well that
das ist
ends well.
geklärt.
Sounds like the show will go on.
Und Paimon, wart mal eine Sekunde. Ich glaube, da hat jemand uns beobachtet, oder? Ja, da ist sie. Hallo. Oh, oh.
Hey, how did you... I was just passing by because I realized I forgot a couple of items on
Ja,
my shopping
definitiv.
list.
Deswegen schaust du auf uns, als wären wir deine
Alright,
Einkaufsliste.
I'm coming. No need to drag me.
Erwischt. So.
Hello, one and all. I couldn't help but overhear your conversation just now.
Farina? Didn't you say you were gonna take a rest at home? What are you doing here?
Arbeiten, nein.
I was just ever so slightly concerned about the situation you mentioned. Yes, a teensy bit concerned. That's all.
Mhm.
When
Könnte es
you
sein,
came
dass du
to talk
vielleicht
with
doch
me earlier,
willst?
I jumped right to explaining my position and said some strongly worded things.
Ja, ein bisschen.
And all before I even had a full grasp of the situation. Anyway, I just feel a bit bad about how it went down.
Es ist noch
I'm
eigentlich ganz
sorry,
okay.
Paimon.
Paul muss sich auch eigentlich entschuldigen, weil sie jetzt wirklich ein paar
Totally
blöde
fine.
Kommentare
I didn't
gedrückt.
take any of that personally.
Warum hast du dich denn nicht selber gezeigt?
You really have a knack for asking the most uncomfortable questions, don't you?
Ah, du bist da viel
I
zu
felt
gut.
very
Ja.
sheepish, having had a change of heart after flatly refusing you. And then, to make matters worse, you caught me.
Du warst auch nicht so gut
But
versteckt.
in
Das
any
hat sogar
case,
Charles ein
It
bisschen,
sounds like the issue has already
bisschen
been
besser gemacht.
resolved.
Yeah. When they said they were gonna ask for your help, I almost had a heart attack. I mean, how could we be worthy of having Lady Furina star in our show?
Nein, das ist nur noch
There's
Furina.
no need to think like that.
Nur aber das
And
sagst
no
du da
need to
selbst.
keep addressing me as lady. Just Furina is fine.
Ja.
I was wondering, if this troop is so important to all of you, why does it have to disband?
Finanzielle
If
oder
the difficulties
Leidenschaft,
are
aber ich würde
purely
auf
financial, then there
finanzielle
must be a
Situation ausgehen.
solution. You could put the shows on pause while you look for a sponsor, for instance.
Ja.
Everyone seems so devoted to the troop. I'm sure if you keep chipping away, you'll find a way through.
Aber
We all want to believe that, but some things are just beyond our control.
die wären...
Everything's been going downhill ever since we lost our director.
Oh, okay.
She was the heart and soul of our troupe. She kept us going.
Klingt so, als wäre sie
Her name
gestorben.
was O'Reilly.
Ja.
And she was the founder, as well as the artistic director of our troupe. And tragically, she was a victim in this serial disappearances case.
Für was ist blödes Experiment?
That's actually how I recognized these two. It was all thanks to their efforts that the true culprit was brought to justice.
Zum Glück.
But still, no sentence can bring our director back to
Ja,
us.
genauso wie Silva
She
und
was a loyal fan of your performances,
Melus.
Lady, Miss Furina. They were what first inspired her to get into musical theater.
Oh, okay.
She rallied many people around her who were destitute or had lost their sense of purpose in life, and convinced them to join her troupe. She wrote her own scripts, acted on stage, and mentored each and every one of us. People loved our performances back then. We seemed to be going from strength to strength. Things were really looking up for us.
Sehr gut gewesen.
And then disaster struck.
Yep.
Yeah. After that, the entire troupe fell into disarray.
Kein Wunder.
None of us know anything about script writing, let alone how to handle the business side of things. We've been doing the best we can. But despite our efforts, things
Yeah.
are slowly but surely falling apart.
Multitalent
It's
leider weg.
agonizing. But ultimately, we'd rather end things now on our own terms than stick it out to the bitter end and watch all our dreams turn to dust.
Also ein gutes Ende, bevor sein schlechtes Ende wird. Das ist so traurig.
What a terrible waste. A gifted artist from humble beginnings who achieved so much and no doubt had much more to give. And then her life was so cruelly taken. I suppose it's fair to say then that this final show, besides being your farewell to the stage, is also your final gift for her?
Würde ich mal annehmen.
Yes, exactly. We all miss her terribly.
Well, good thing I followed the traveler here. After hearing this tragic tale, I can no longer stand by and do nothing.
Das heißt, du wirst beitreten?
Furina.
I know what you're thinking, but I by no means plan to cross the boundary I've set for
Okay.
myself. Besides, they're no longer looking for a replacement anyway.
Das
I
heißt...
can, however,
Ah.
provide some artistic guidance from the vantage point of a highly experienced audience member.
Ja, du hast definitiv am
But
meisten
only
Erfahrung
if
von
you
allen.
feel this is something that would help, of course.
Oh, most definitely. We'll take any guidance that you can give.
Okay.
We unfortunately don't have any budget for a consultant, though. Will that be a problem?
Ich glaube, so
I
Interesse am Moor
don't
hat sie
need
nicht.
any compensation.
Ja, voilà.
All I'd ask in return, if you're willing, is that you tell me some more about the life and work of your late director.
Sich in ihre Schuhe zu
Something I've
setzen?
begun to realize since my departure from the Opera Epicles is that there's a lot you don't see when you observe everything from on high.
Ja,
The
okay.
law
Andere
only
Perspektiven.
judges criminal behavior and does not weigh human emotion. The court's verdict can settle the question of criminal liability, but
Aber...
what about all the unresolved emotions of the parties involved? What happens to them?
Die kommen raus und fließen in die Unendlichkeit.
An interesting answer. But if you ask me, I think all emotion shall ultimately return home to the heart and slowly settle with the passage of time.
Auch eine interessante
Take, for example,
Ansichtsweise.
how this troupe pines for their late director. Things such as this I have never witnessed before. And so I should like to observe, perchance to understand.
Still a fan of your old dramatic monologues then, huh? You
Aimon?
just want to get back in on the action, don't you?
Aimon?
No. This is a completely different situation. Pearls before swine.
The name's not Swine, it's Paimon!
Would you be
Die
willing
zwei.
to join me? Come on, take a break from adventuring to listen to a story.
Weil du es bist, machen wir es.
Thank you all so much. Our director was a huge fan of Miss Furina's performances, as of course we all are.
Yep.
All right, follow me. We'll go to our usual practice space. Please excuse the size. It's a
Nicht
little
schlimm.
on the smaller side.
Das ist absolut nicht schlimm. Ich will auch noch mal schauen, ob ich die Qualität auch hochschalten kann. Aber ich glaube, es ist schon auf HD. Ja, ich drück mal einfach mal. Oh, wir können sogar hier. Vielleicht hilft das ein bisschen. Ne, okay, hat sich nicht wirklich viel geändert. Okay. Das heißt, jetzt geht's zu der Location, wo sie eben Übungen machen, also zum Übungsplatz. Und schauen wir mal, ob sie dort dann uns ein bisschen mehr die Situation dann erläutern. Und auch bin gespannt, wie viel zu sehen ist, beziehungsweise wie sie arbeiten, sag ich mal einfach. Aber natürlich, das Schicksal der Truppe ist sehr traurig natürlich, angesichts, dass die Direktorin leider durch das massenhafte Verschwinden leider auch verschwunden ist. Und halt Teil dieser Tragödie ist. Hoffen wir, der Story ein gutes Ende zu setzen. Okay, da haben wir eine Darstellerin und niemand anderes. Oder sind das vielleicht die im Hintergrund arbeiten?
Huh? Lady Furina?
Ja, hallo.
What's Lady Furina doing here?
Aushelfen. Tipps geben.
Hello all. Allow me to explain. As of today, Miss Furina will be supporting our production of The Little Oceanid in the role of artistic consultant.
Okay.
These two over here are the ones that made it possible. They kindly reached out to Miss Furina on our behalf. I'm sure they need no introduction.
Ne, definitiv nicht.
You bet! That was the trial of the century!
Yep.
You helped bring our director's murderer to justice. We can't thank you enough.
Kein Problem, hat's verdient.
Please don't mention it. We're just here to join in on the fun.
Oh ja.
So, you were saying The Little Oceanid?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the name of our final show. It's an unfinished script left behind by our director. One of our greatest regrets is that she never got to complete
Okay.
it. So, if we can bring it to the stage and make it a successful show, we can all take some solace in that.
Okay, das ist ja wirklich schön.
Wait, but if it's not finished, then...
Dann war das Finden einer
Yeah.
Darstellerin nicht das
We've
Schlimmste.
been battling issues on every front, trying to realize this dream. Anyway, let me give you a quick summary of what the story's all about.
Okay.
The protagonist of the story is a young Oceanid who transforms herself into human form, despite the
Okay.
protests of her family. She longed to live just like any other human, And sure enough, she found friendship and even love. Everything seemed perfect.
Bis die Feuernation
But one
attackierte.
day,
Ups.
her true identity was exposed, and her world came crashing down around her.
So
Huh.
far, so good. A classic tale.
Klingt ein bisschen wie Ariel.
What happened after that?
That's one of the issues we've been trying
Was
to
mit dem
deal
Titel.
with. Unfortunately, this was as far as the director got with her script.
Bis,
We need a
ja.
proper ending so we can bring this musical to the stage. But people have different opinions on which direction to take it in.
Ja, okay.
We still haven't decided between a happy ending or a true-to-life tragedy.
Okay.
By true to life, you mean the director's sudden disappearance?
Ja, wahrscheinlich das, ne? Ja.
Like they say, truth is stranger than fiction. But then there's the
in
question
der
of
Welt von
whether we
Teyvat.
really want to use the stage to pass our raw pain onto the audience.
Es könnte klappen.
Exactly. A lot of the time, people come to watch a show just hoping for some light entertainment. We have to consider their emotional stake in this, not just our own.
Ja, okay. Kann man verstehen.
And one last thing. We're still waiting on confirmation from two of our main actors.
Okay, die
The
wären.
first is Paulo, who plays the protagonist's lover. He's locked himself away to focus on writing an ending for the script.
Okay.
But the deadline's passed, and we still haven't heard from him.
Okay, und der andere?
The other is Villemont, who plays the main antagonist. He took the director's death pretty hard. Hasn't set foot in the city since.
Ja, okay, das heißt am
He
meisten
did write
getroffen.
to us, promising that he'll be there for the final performance, but we haven't seen or heard from him since.
Okay.
So we're not really sure what to make of that.
Ja, okay.
Although, now that we have Miss Furina helping us, maybe we should take the opportunity to get everyone back together.
Es wäre eine gute
What
Möglichkeit.
opportunity? What do you mean?
Das Zusammentrödeln der Gruppe.
Maybe you're unaware, but your name has always been like a rallying cry for us.
Na dann.
Our director was constantly singing your praises. All of us look up to you as a role model.
Oh, das freut wahrscheinlich Furina zu hören.
Oh, stop.
Freut.
You're
Ja.
making me all flustered. Although, not in a bad way. I suspect the reason they're dragging their feet is that they have their doubts about whether the show will really go ahead, considering all the issues. we've
Das
been
und
facing.
einfach wie das Ende auch ist.
But one by
So, ja, das
one,
Beste
all
wahrscheinlich
the
sein.
obstacles are being removed. Now is the time to rally the troops.
Dann machen wir das.
Makes sense. Okay, priority number 1. Let's check in with Paulo and see where he's at with the ending.
Ja, wohl um das Ende geht
He
gar
went back
nichts.
to Poisson a few days ago.
Poisson.
Said that
Okay.
staying in a friend's home might help him to relax and escape the feeling of isolation.
Okay.
I thought the last thing his friend would want right now would be to take visitors, given that Poisson was flooded not too long ago. But I guess it's the opposite. A friend in need and all that.
Yeah, maybe he could use some company.
Ja, ein bisschen. Furina?
Poisson.
Ja, das ist natürlich für dich jetzt... Ist irgendwas falsch?
I
Ja, für dich ist
suppose
das
my
halt
presence will
sehr
be
unangenehm.
indispensable if we are to restore his faith in the show.
Okay.
So, allons-y. To Poisson!
Let's go. Okay. Und hier habe ich auch die Folge beendet letztes Mal. Das heißt, wir haben jetzt das alles nachgeholt. Wie gesagt, es tut mir leid für die Umstände, dass ich das jetzt so musste machen, weil ich einfach verkackt habe beim Aufnehmen. Hat jetzt bei der zweiten Aufnahme zum Glück geklappt und da habe ich alles hinbekommen. Und ich habe auch so normalerweise so gut wie alles nachkreiert, was ich gesagt habe. Plus noch ein paar neue Sachen hinzugefügt. Das heißt, die Authentizität ist jetzt nicht hoch 1000, aber so hoch 1 Million, nein, ein bisschen aber da gewesen, weil ich ein paar Sachen noch hinzugefügt habe, um es noch ein bisschen mehr authentisch wirken zu lassen. Huiuiui. Aber ja, deswegen noch einmal danke an Ruben925 für das Videomaterial und auch einerseits eure Geduld, das jetzt bis hierhin anzuschauen, obwohl es ein bisschen anders ist wie sonst. Aber ja, damit hätten wir sozusagen diese Folge gerettet, weil ich hätte sonst keine Ahnung, wie ich das anstellen könnte machen, damit wir irgendwie die Erlebnisse von dieser Folge hätten und dann einfach weiter voranschreiten können zu der nächsten. Aber ja, ich glaube, das hat geklappt. Wird wahrscheinlich auch die Lösung sein, die wir immer die wir immer ergreifen, dann, wenn wir in das gleiche Problem reinlaufen. Ich hoffe natürlich nicht. Zum Glück ist es jetzt auch nur hier bei der Furina Quest passiert. Bisher ist, glaube ich, sonst noch nicht so etwas Drastisches passiert. Es gab nur vielleicht Audioprobleme und alles, aber jetzt, dass das Material einfach sozusagen weg ist, bis es nicht existiert hat, einfach. Hatten wir noch nicht. Aber ja, ich glaube jetzt schon wieder zu viel über meine Verzweiflung und alles so. Also dann, danke fürs Zuschauen. Ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen, trotz des anderen Settings. Aber ja, dann danke fürs Zuschauen. Bis beim nächsten Mal mit einer funktionierenden Aufnahme. Tschüss.